What's going on? Listen, very, very special late night edition, midnight on the East Coast, only 9 p.m. on the West Coast. Imperfect Action Show with Mr. Aaron Passive Income Jones. And today happens to be his birthday. And
Yes, yes.
listen, I'm excited to have you on the show. This is the first midnight edition of the Imperfect Action Show, and I couldn't think of anyone else to literally just come up with a great concept and celebrate your birthday at the same time than you, bro. So welcome to the show, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me, ma'am. I'm excited. I'm, grateful for being on your platform. You know, it's a lot of things that we're gonna go over today. I'm excited. I've been living my life lately with the law of opulence as my first, aspect. And if those that don't know, that's the art of giving back before you want for yourself. So, it's my birthday and I want to give back. You know what I mean?
Facts, man. We're doing that in a really good form right now. Where obviously, as you can see in the ticker down below, you're giving away your brand new birthday book, which is the Consumer Law ebook, and the first 43 people. I'm assuming because you turned 43, bro.
Yeah, I know, man. I get that all the time,
You know what
bro.
I'm
Like,
saying?
you know what I mean? Hey,
I
listen.
assume, I
Hey,
assume
listen.
because no one's gonna be randomly saying, "Yo, I'm 43." So I figure that's a fact. You know what I mean?
Word.
So what I'm gonna do
Word.
right now, I'm gonna let me see. I'm gonna send a link out to the community. Let them know we're rocking right now, uh,
Facts.
so they can join live Q&A on financial literacy and consumer law. You know what I'm saying? That's all we're about to do. And then get a free ebook.
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely.
Grab your free ebook. Okay, bang. And join the conversation. So if you're just joining in the chat, drop down where you're from. This is gonna be a very fun episode of the Imperfect Action. Any questions you have, if you want to just give a happy birthday to Aaron, definitely do that right down in the chat. But I just sent a text out to the community, let them know that we are doing our thing and we'll
Yes.
be rocking out. Let me put my phone on do not disturb as well. So yo, bro, listen, tell me all about what you've been up to as far as these first 43 years of your life. What's been going on and where's the transition moving towards with obviously you teaching financial literacy and educating people on the laws that have to do with credit.
Well, it all started with me actually fixing my own credit. I went down that, 609 letter journey, like anybody else that knows about fixing credit, disputing accounts on, the credit profile and all of that. And then I realized, like, wait a minute, man, like, who are these people anyway, and why do they have my information? Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, why am I disputing anything on? Like, how did you get my social security number? So that hunger for the knowledge of wondering why this is possible led me down the rabbit hole of the consumer law. So I started going crazy. Like, it's 52 titles with thousands of subtitles and thousands of chapters inside those subtitles. So you really got to go crazy. Like, this whole last couple months of my life, that's what I've been doing, studying the law and putting it you know into action.
so I think what's kind of admirable about that is the idea that, yeah, I mean, there's a few things I think, right? So number one, you're doing something that most people would shy away from because they're probably looking at the numbers, codes, the amount of information, already telling themselves like, "Yo, this is too overwhelming for me to even start." So I'm not even gonna start. So that's number one. You're going to learn this information that it's essentially a high paying skill, and
Yeah.
sharing that information and actually changing lives and really helping people by making a real impact. Um, Secondly, you're becoming a master and an expert in a category, which again, a lot of people wouldn't move in that direction, going after information that could really make a true impact and change. Right? Most people want to do things that are comfortable. Learning law and specifically learning consumer law isn't necessarily the most comforting thing that you can do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I assume, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I assume that at this stage in your life, you probably didn't, presume that you would be doing this specifically, right? I mean, I'm
Yeah,
assuming
nah.
I'm wrong, but I mean, I don't think any young, man of color is growing up like, yo, you know what? I want to learn these, these consumer law codes and really understand that the intricacies of in the details of how and what I should do and what I can't do, and really know how to finesse these laws that's going to put me in the best advantageous position. I don't know. Maybe,
But
maybe, maybe.
no, you know what it is? You know what it is? If you really look at it, right? Who's the number one consumer in the world? We are. Our people are the number one consumer in the world. And we don't know nothing about the laws that back us for being the number one consumer in the world.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So that just gave me another hunger on top of the hunger that I already have for them violating our rights. And there's so many violations, and we speak about codes like racketeering, embezzlement, fraud, identity theft, you know, all of them, you know, RICO laws. Like these companies get sued, they set out money every year in their insurance policy for lawsuits that's they expect for the year to come, bro, because
Yeah.
they know they fraudulent. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Facts. And that's actually crazy. Really think like these companies that are doing everyday business are setting aside, like you said, budgets. They got a whole fund set aside for moves that they know they're gonna make, and they just assuming, hey, listen, if we get away with them, we rocking out. If we don't
Yup.
get away with them, we got the slush fund to take care of it, and we still gonna be good because we just gotta pay and just go through the whole situation. Yeah, we're gonna
And
give
keep doing it.
give out the 10 mil, 5 mil. It's all good because the fund this year is 20 mil. Oh, we saved 10. You know what I'm saying?
Yup. Yup.
So okay, so with that being the case, what are some of the most common consumer laws that we do get violated on a day to day that are very common?
Very common is the social security number.
Mm,
The social security number, a lot of people don't know, is an open-ended credit transaction. Anytime you use your social security number, whatever item you're purchasing, no matter if it's $1 million house or a $20,000 car, whatever you purchasing is being paid for with your social security number, which is linked to the Central QV trust, which is linked with your birth certificate. So first we got to go all the way back to the beginning, and that's what I do in my ebook. The consumer laws of the modern era. I teach you how we go back to the beginning and see how we are businesses to a
yeah,
corporation, which is a business.
yeah,
So they treat us like businesses. So
yeah.
we doing business transactions. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, the federal government even have laws um, that require debt collectors to prove us to validate that the debt was not in default at the time when it was originated.
Mm,
You don't get your bills with a negative $500 on it. You got to pay up to get out of a hole. It's always you got the 500 and you got to pay down.
yeah,
You
fact.
understand? But the federal regulations say that if a debt is not in default at the time it was obtained, then the term debt collector doesn't even exist. And that's in the definitions of the term debt collector.
Mm.
So if we reading these codes and like, wait a minute, what?
So if you
What
got a debt that wasn't a debt, then it ain't a debt.
It's never that because it's taken from our social at the jump. from the jump. Once we give them that social, that debt is already paid for in full, and then they commit embezzlement, they commit fraud, racketeering for going back around, which is illegal because remember the term debt collector doesn't exist. So they go back around and collect the debt from us that's already paid for. Then they it's like maybe like 4 ways or 5 ways they get paid. They insure the debt with an insurance company, the FDIC or something like that. And then they sell the debt if we so-called renege on our responsibilities to pay it, right? Something that we already paid for.
Mm.
And then they sell it to a debt collector and get paid again. So they killing us, bro, all off of the lack of knowledge.
Bro, that's very interesting, right? So break down what you were just saying as far as your Social Security basically pays for the debt on that initial purchase, right? It's already paid for. So someone, let's say someone gets a car, right? Boom, you're using your
Yeah.
social to do the transaction. Something happens. Let's say it's a 20K car. Something happens. You left. You don't pay it all off or whatever the case may be, and then
Mm.
now it's a debt that needs to be collected, right? So kind of break that whole situation down. How you were saying that.
Well, it's funny you mention that because I got the title back for my GL 550 Mercedes from sending in a debt validation letter to the bank and the dealership to provide me with the original wire transactions, right? The original. Now these templates is in my ebook. So everybody that's the first 43 people that's signed up, the link is in my bio. We got the link right here on the bottom of the video. Listen, get this ebook because I got the templates on how you can do this yourself, the affidavits and everything. Listen, right? So once you request validation, all debt collection practices must cease and desist, right? Now, 18 United States Code 2713, which is disclosure of all communications, computer communications. The federal government requires all of these corporations to keep in their files computer records of all the wire transactions that were made with that particular account up to 2 years after the account is closed. So if you had a repossession in 2021, you could still go ahead and send them a validation of debt request
Mm.
along with the disclosure. So now, why they will never give you the disclosure of the wire transactions? Because then you'll see that there was never a debt, that it was paid when you initially gave them your social security number. You understand what I'm saying? So that puts them in a bind. And the Social Security, another thing to piggyback off of that, the Social Security Administration, which is a federal agency, they require that anyone using a consumer's Social Security number must fill out a SSA-89 form, which the consumer will give authorization to the corporation for using their Social Security number. But they don't never do that,
Yeah, they
bro.
never
They
do
never
that.
do that.
Yeah.
They never do it. So it's so many things that we jam these corporations up for violating our consumer rights. And the funny thing is that in these codes and in these laws, all of the power belongs to us, the consumer. And being that it's my birthday, bro, and I told you I've been moving with the laws of opulence for a long time. I'm giving y'all this sauce for free. The
Bro.
first 43 people getting this sauce for free, and then it's gonna be $43 after that. After we get those first 43 people,
So okay, I'm buying a car. Since my social already paid for the car, what am I paying for?
you getting extorted, my brother.
Damn, that's crazy. You saying it, and I'm getting it, and I'm just like, I need to make sure the way my brain is thinking is what's really happening right now.
Yeah, bro, it's spooky because it's so. they it's crazy. It's a double-sided coin because on one side of the coin, you know, they got people trapped in this matrix type of imaginary illusional world. But on the other side of the coin, you could take back all of the power if you just learn how to depict, comprehend, and put into action these codes that they put in our face because they know that we're not gonna read them.
Facts, facts. I mean,
They
bro,
gonna
no, I'm pretty sure no one even knows. I mean, obviously, yeah, you can go on Google and YouTube, but I'm pretty sure people are not even thinking like, where are the consumer laws? Like, where am
yeah.
I going to? I mean, granted, like I said, they go on YouTube, but like, let's think about prior to that. Where was I going? Am I going to sit in the library and read the consumer laws? No one's doing that, bro.
Nobody was doing that.
You know what I'm saying?
Nobody was doing that. For real.
Yo,
For
shout out
real.
to Jay, Super Sticker. I see you, my boy. Shout out to Max. Welcome to a special birthday edition of the Imperfect Action Show. We are celebrating my guy, Aaron. He's turning 43, 43 years young, and he's giving away his free consumer law ebook. There's a link in the chat. You could just grab that, and there's a lot of gems in there. Obviously, he just touched on one of them. As we were asking him what are some of the most common consumer law violations, and we just touched on Social Security being one of the first and one of the most common. So if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. If you want to wish him a happy birthday, drop that in the chat. I will add that to the screen. We want to show him love as he's going for a new lap around the sun and moving with the power of opulence. You know what I'm saying? So what is a second most common consumer law violation, my guy?
The second most common consumer law violation would have to be dealing with contracts, contract disputes. So when I say that, I mean people that send you and try to collect any type of debt from you, debt collector, that you never sign any documentation to do business with. You feel me? So uh, that includes the IRS. That includes any tolls. Right now. I got an open case. I can't talk too much about it, but it has to do with a corporation that. See, you don't got to deal. See, this is people. A lot of people don't know this. People on the West Coast do not pay tolls. A lot of people don't know that. Y'all got the freeways over here. They block us from
Oh,
traveling
bro,
freely.
I'm from Boston, so we had those all day. I know what it is.
Yeah, yeah. So one of the corporations that interfere with our federally protected activity and our constitutional liberty to travel. I have ongoing litigation with them as we speak. But contracts, bro. To answer your question, like you can't be sending me no something saying I owe you and me and you never did business before, bro. Like that's one of the 15 USC 7001C on federal on the federal United States codes. That's consumer consent. So the corporation has to disclose the contract that says that you allowed them to do business with you. And that even goes for the credit bureaus, all three of them, because the credit bureaus and then the reporting agencies behind them, like LexisNexis and Innovis and all of these corporations, because that's where the credit bureaus is getting their information from. So if you opting out of LexisNexis and all of these other information holding corporations, then these um credit bureaus can never get your correct information from them. But it all has to do with contract disputes because I never signed a contract to do the business with none of y'all. Not near one of
Yo,
y'all.
bro, I got okay. All right, so let me get this. Let me get this straight, bro. And for the people that are listening in real time, watching in real time, or maybe tapping through with the replay. Let me get this straight. Okay, maybe 2018, 2019. I'm with my boy. He's right next to me. You know what I'm saying? He had loaned me 1,200. I'm paying my guy back 1,200. You know what I'm saying? Boom. My phone. Bring up the little Zelle situation. I'm like, bat. What's your number, homie? He gives me a number, bat. The money don't go to him. He's sitting right next to me. He puts his number in my phone. It's his number. The money don't go to him. I'm like, what the fuck?
Wow.
You ain't get this transaction, fam? What happened? He's like, bro, I don't know. Okay, cool. This never happened before. We go to the bank. Sit down with a banker. We're behind the screen. She's showing up the screen. I'm like, yo, I just sent my guy the number. She's like, yeah, his number's right on this thing. I'm like, all right, well, how come it didn't go with him? She's like, I don't know. It went somewhere else. She can't answer it. I'm on the phone.
And
They can't.
it's the right number.
Exact number. I'm on the phone now. They can't answer it. They send me to this new department. They're like, yeah, we can see it went to XYZ account, but we can't pull it out because they got to give us authorization. But I can send the money by accident. So anyway, I end up going to court. It's me against Bank of America and Zelle.
Yeah.
Bank of America's like, it ain't our fault. Zelle's like, it ain't our fault.
Yeah.
The judge is like, we throwing this case out. So now I'm out to 1,200. I gotta give them another 1,200.
What?
And I can't do nothing. Well, at least I'm thinking I can't do nothing. But now listen to what you're sharing with me. If I would have known my consumer law, I could have probably bust down some contract disputes with both of them or one of them.
Facts.
And got the bread back.
You could have disclosed all the wire transactions and the computer records linked with your account. You know what? Let me disclose all of this information then for me, since you saying you don't know what happened. I want to see where the money went to.
Facts.
Know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Because we have the power to gather these documents from them, but they don't disclose them to us because they know that they will incriminate themselves for fraud. They will incriminate themselves.
Bro, listen.
So look, hold on, real quick.
Bro. That's wild.
Real quick. Look, right. So look, the federal government got an agency called the SEC. It's the Security Exchange Commission, right? Since 2001, they helped consumers get over $1 billion in rewards for their whistleblower program for blowing a whistle on corporations that's using social security numbers fraudulently. Since 2001, they got the consumers over $1 billion in rewards for blowing a whistle. Just, yo, listen, I don't like that shit. I don't like that. You feel me? Listen, nah, I'm dropping a dime on these mugs. You know what I mean? Like, because you're not moving however you want with my information no more. It's not. This is the information age. It's the age of the Aquarius. I tell people that all the time. They think that I'm boasting because I'm an Aquarius. No, it's the waters, the water bearers. It's time for people to wake up and know their rights and understand that they have the power to exile themselves and release themselves from any type of corporate bondage. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all it is corporate bondage. They're assuming that we are corporations and that we don't know who we really are.
No, fact, because we don't.
They're assuming that. Yeah.
We don't. Where we gonna get the information from? The parents don't know. School ain't teaching us. The homies don't know.
Nope.
You know we're not watching. I mean, the programs ain't out there. You know what I'm saying? So no one's getting information. So
nope.
You mentioned something earlier, right? I thought that was interesting when you was talking about, the imaginary matrix. You know what I'm saying? People are in.
Yeah.
So it made me think about. All right, cool. Two things now. Number one, since these consumer laws are in place, to be utilized for those that know about them.
Mm-hmm.
what is the why are things intentionally like? I guess what I'm saying is why have the consumer laws and then just have the fuck shit and then just allow it to happen? Like why
Bro,
even have the consumer laws if they know that it ain't even, you know what I'm saying? Like why even have them in place?
bro, listen, right? These laws were instated in 1970. The Fair Debt Collection Practices Act was 1977. The Fair Credit Reporting Act was 1970. All of this information is in my ebook. Y'all better go fill out the link in my bio, passive income Jones underscore, and get your free ebook. The first 43 people are getting it for free. Listen to what the first paragraph of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, right? Fair Credit Reporting Act. The first paragraph of what the title of it is Congressional Findings and Statement of Purpose. Listen to the first paragraph. It says the banking system is dependent upon fair and accurate credit reporting. Inaccurate credit reportings directly impair the efficiency of the banking system, and unfair credit reporting methods undermine the public confidence, which is essential to the continuous functioning of the banking system. An elaborate mechanism has been developed for investigating and evaluating the credit worthiness, credit standing, credit capacity, character, and general reputation of consumers. So they constructed an elaborate mechanism to in order to keep us from achieving our brand new house or our brand new cars or a high limit credit card for our business because of something that they thought they should put on our public information without no contract to do it. Without no contract. They got your social security number. They trading on it online. If you go to the SEC got a website, right? If you go to the SEC's website, they'll show you the cases, how they put the complaints in for these companies. They got damn near templates on how to write a federal case against a corporation on a website. So, mind you, I told you they got over $1 billion to the consumer since 2021. Yeah, I'm on that website heavy. I need some of that. You heard? But yeah, man, yo, it's all in the ebook, man. Y'all got to get this ebook. I'm telling you, it's only $43. It's my 43rd birthday. Cheers, happy birthday to me. Take a shot for me. You know what I mean? Shot it up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
A little bit left. You know what I'm saying? So so on this 43rd lap in the way that you're moving, what are some of the things you want to get accomplished on this new, this new journey around the sun?
Well, I got a nonprofit organization called Second Chance Financial Program, right? With Second Chance Financial Program, what I want to do is I want to educate the youth all across the country on how to develop financial literacy skills with consumer law way though. How to know your rights. You are going to grow up to be a consumer. One day you're going to buy something with your social security number. That makes you a consumer. You should know your rights behind that. Listen, I just told you I got my title back for my truck. I sold it to my company. It was in my personal name. I got my title back. I requested validation of the debt. I sent them a disclosure of all original wire transactions, right? Um, I alleged them of fraud. I alleged them of mail fraud. Even 18 U.S. Code 8876D, interstate communications. No corporation could send you something in the mail telling you that you owe them a debt. That's mail fraud because the federal government has the definition of debt collector as if it doesn't exist. So if the term debt collector doesn't exist, then how are you sending me something in the mail telling me that I owe you and you are a debt collector? It can't happen, bro. It's fraud, and it's time to start calling them out on it. It's time to start calling them out on it. You know what I'm saying?
So what's the other side of it, man? Right. So let's say somebody intentionally, uses their social security number to acquire, an asset. You know what I'm saying? Or a debt. Like let's say they use it to buy a boat or something like that, and now
Mm.
they intentionally don't pay for, that said item, and then they use consumer fraud to get out of the payment. Do things like that happen? Are people running? Are people doing stuff like that?
Well, yeah, it happened to one of my clients where he went and got a dog, right? I'm not gonna mention his name. He went and got a dog and paid like 20,000 for the dog. Got a loan, you know what I'm saying? Boom. Takes the dog home, has the dog for about a month. Calls the corporation up, and they sent them some information to try to attempt to collect the debt on the dog, and it wasn't his social security number on the information. So he called them up like, yo, this is wrong. Like, what are you doing here? You know what I'm saying? So they were like, oh, don't worry about it. Just make the payment. It's an error. You don't have nothing to worry about. Everything's good. You still have to make the payment though. Like what? Like what? Like that's a whole fraud situation right there. You know what I'm saying? And they want you to just overlook it like it's a simple mistake, but 18 United States Code 1341, frauds and swindles, right? That holds 20 years in prison and a heavy fine. So frauds and swindles, everybody who's on this podcast or sees this, you got to save that code, and it's in my ebook as well. These consumer laws, you're gonna find definitions of the words, so you could help to identify them and comprehend them. And I'm just giving back, man. I want everybody to teach this to their kids, bro, because it's information that nobody taught me. I had to go deep down the rabbit hole, and luckily I came up with the goal. Because a lot of
Yeah,
them up want to go through the rabbit hole and come back up with the rabbit shit. You feel me?
yeah, man. Facts, man. Well, listen, I definitely threw my information in the to fill in the form to grab the book. I know there's a lot of people are gonna do it. I gotta lead by example. So if I can do it, you guys need to do it. Aaron,
Facts.
Aaron's giving you access to a lot of life changing information, especially on you being a consumer. A lot of us are consumers. We're all consumers, but again, we're not privy to these laws. We're not privy to the move. We're just privy to spending the bread. You know what I'm saying? So since you are going to be a consumer, you might as well spend some time and understand, some of the rights and regulations behind that. And I think, what you're doing, not only with the nonprofit, but the moves you're making just in general, with this, with these consumer laws is definitely not only a great thing, but I mean, you're going to save and impact a lot of people with this.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, so just to piggyback off of that, like what you had asked me about what I got coming up, I just did a 33-day no food fast to start the year. So from the 1st of January to the 3rd of February or the 2nd of February, I was only doing liquids, and that put me like, like I would do green juice. I have my gallon of water. I'll do maybe one shake a day. You know what I'm saying? Maybe have some soup broth or some tea or something like that. And that just put me in a mind frame that was so clear. And I was just so sharp. And I wrote the ebook, bro, in maybe like 2, 3, 4 days, bro. Like just tapped in with it, you know what I mean? So, I try to put everything in there. I want to do a part two where I emphasize certain codes, like, we'll emphasize the contract code. Like, we'll emphasize how we could, get remedies for your social security being used without your consent. Like all of these things I want to really dive deeper into because it's very complex.
Yeah, facts, bro. And I think a great way to even do that, if you don't already have this on the horizon, is just do like a video book to that information. You know what I'm saying? I think a video book to that information would be fire, because a lot of people, even though you're gonna give them the gold, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't even read, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if you just assimilate that in a couple of, 3 to 5 minute videos and it just breaks it down, I think more people will be able to take advantage and consume that content, you know what I'm saying? Which again is gonna not only make the impact, but it's gonna save their lives and empower them to share this information with other people while it's impacting their life in real time, man. So that's amazing. I'm very happy to hear that, inspired to hear you was on this the fasting situation. I did a fast in it was actually one of my first fasts, bro. I did it in December. We did 7 days, you know what I'm saying? So it was
okay,
it was cool for me because I've never done one before. So it was cool for me to get that experience where the first that first day was shaky.
yeah. Yo, I always tell people it's the second day that's gonna determine whether you're gonna make your
You know what I'm
journey or
saying?
you not.
Day one, day two was shaky. I ain't even gonna hold you. You know what I found out? I found out that I just be going to the fridge, bro.
Yeah,
Like I decide what I want when I get to the fridge. I don't I
habit of motion.
I find myself just walking to the fridge, opening, looking, and I find something and I grab it, right? And then I consume it. I'm not even going in there like, oh, I want something to eat. It just ends up being a pattern. So that's what I found out during that 7 days because I went to the fridge probably like 21 times, bro. And then I caught myself in real time with the door open, like, bro, what are you doing? So then I close it and go back, to whatever I was doing. But it's just emotion. It's like,
Yeah,
okay, let me just walk up in there. And then you looking, it's like, okay, let me grab this, let me grab that, let me eat this, let me eat that. You're just eating. You're not even eating because you necessarily hungry or you want it. You're just eating just
because
because
it's there.
and because it's there. Facts.
It's force a habit, bro. Like, and that helps you work on your discipline. OD, like, bro, they say if you could control not eating, like fasting, not putting food, consuming food, you can control any other emotion in your that exists in your body. Fear, anger,
Yep.
any other emotion, anxiety, all of that shit goes away once you get the discipline of not eating. That's the biggest one right there.
Facts, man. Well, bro, I want to wish you a happy birthday as we
Thank you.
winding down on the show. If anyone has any questions in real time, this would be a perfect time for you to either ask a question or wish Aaron a happy birthday. It's 12:41 on the East Coast. It's 9:41 on the West Coast. So it's about to be his birthday over here in less than 3 hours, but it's already his birthday
Facts.
on the East, man. So make sure that you guys click that link in the chat. It's in the top of the chat. Be one of the first 43 people to grab this consumer law ebook. Get into Aaron's ecosystem and learn more about what he has going on and how he's making an impact. And if you need to ask some questions that maybe you didn't get a chance to ask right now, get in his DM and just ask some questions, start a conversation, and let's see, if he can help you currently on your journey, man. So before we wrap up, let people know how they can work with you if they are interested in working with you.
Yeah, so you guys could follow me on Instagram, passive income Jones underscore. Also you could email my company email money magnet moves LLC at gmail.com. Um we got plenty different avenues. Like I said, I'm a serial entrepreneur, so I also have an entertainment corporation. I have a real estate company, and I have the nonprofit corporation that I can't wait to use for giving back to the community. So Yep, hit me on those avenues, and we could definitely link up. And anybody interested, the link is in my bio to the ebook. Make sure you one of the first 43 people to sign up so you could get your free copy. We dropping hella gems straight from the east side.
Facts, facts, facts. And with that being said, I'm definitely gonna share the link to my community and to my email list so they can take advantage of it in the morning for those that really want this information. I appreciate you for spending a part of your birthday with us on the Imperfect Action Show with our very first birthday special edition episode. You know what I'm saying? Which I think is fire. I might actually do this for a couple of people. This might actually be some little different. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
100%. We'll see the rest of you guys on Monday for another episode. We got a couple of bangers lined up, and right before I get off and we end the call, I'll just let you know who's up. Oh yeah, we got Tasha McCray, 9 a.m. She is definitely a six-figure entrepreneur teaching women how to take whatever information they have and literally not only turn it into a six-figure business, but then how to diversify that six-figure business into other streams of income to bring you revenue. So that's going to be a very interesting conversation. She does this business with her husband. And again, it's going to be very impactful. So tune in for that on Monday and we will see you guys on another episode. Aaron, I will connect with you, bro.
No doubt, brother.